There's something oddly exciting about stumbling across a dragon nest out in the wild, half hidden in the terrain like it's been waiting there for years. This is exactly the kind of experience that Dragon Nestkeeper brings into Hytale. Instead of dragons just being rare creatures you fight or ignore, they become part of a full system where you find them, raise them through different stages, feed them specific foods, and slowly build a bond over time. And the deeper you get into it, the more it starts to feel like dragons are actually part of the journey and not just something that you run into. The main goal of the mod revolves around searching the world for dragon nests. These nests can spawn in different regions depending on the dragon type, and some are abandoned whilst others are partially destroyed. Exploring them can reward useful resources, dragon related items, or if luck is on your side, even an unhatched dragon egg. And if searching the world is not going too well, there are other options too. The mod introduces a new race called the Saurians. These are traders that specialize entirely around dragons and dragon related items. By crafting a Saurian trader statue at the Nestkeeper bench, players can summon these merchants and trade for things like eggs, materials, and other useful resources. The Nestkeeper bench itself is basically the center of the entire mod. You craft it using a tier 1 workbench along with stone, copper ingots, an egg, and fire essence. Once placed down, this is where almost all dragon related crafting happens. Dragon food, saddles, dragon hide materials, trader statues, and other important items are all crafted here. And there's actually quite a bit of progression tied into raising the dragons themselves. Right now, dragons have 4 different growth stages, and each stage changes how they behave. Small hatchlings are weak, nervous, and require more direct care, while older dragons become stronger, more independent, and eventually large enough to ride. Each stage also requires different types of dragon food, crafted using various resources like raw meat, berries, hide, and other survival materials depending on the recipe. And this gives the mod much more of a survival feeling instead of just dragons instantly becoming mounts right away. And honestly, some of these smaller interactions help sell the experience even more so. Baby dragons can actually be picked up using cloth, whilst adult dragons can be petted to slowly restore their health. It sounds simple, but it makes them actually feel like more companions instead of just another mob following the player around. Once fully grown, dragons can also be equipped with a dragon saddle, allowing them to be ridden. Now, technically flying is still limited for now because of Hytale's current mount system, so dragons mostly move through long jumps and gliding rather than true flight. But even with that limitation, traveling around still feels pretty good. And according to the developers, full flying support is planned once Hytale officially supports flying mounts more properly, if at all, of course. One really cool mechanic is that saddles can also be removed using shears. This lets the dragon wander freely again instead of staying mounted permanently. The developers also plan to expand this system further in future updates by giving unsaddled dragons more combat-focused behavior, allowing them to actively defend and fight alongside players instead of only functioning as mounts. Currently, there are 2 dragon types available, each with their own nests, behaviors, resources, and trait. The plain dragon is usually found around grassy plains and forest regions. Their nests are often hidden in tall grass or abandoned forest clearings, blending naturally into the environment. These dragons are calmer by nature and tend to bond closely with the player who raises them. They're also much more reliable companions overall, usually staying close to the player instead of wandering off constantly like horses tend to do. While they do not fly very high, they are durable, tanky, and great for general exploration. Plain dragons also provide useful drops like fire essence, life essence, and scaled leather materials. If you want to host your own server using the Dragon Nestkeeper mod, check out SimpleGameHosting. They make the server setup quick and straightforward with full customization. It's reliable, performant, and support's available whenever you need help. Whether you're starting a small survival world with your friends or building a larger community server, everything is easy to manage right from the control panel. And the best part, you can get 25% off your first month using the link in the description down below. If you're ready to start your own Hytale servers today, be sure to check them out. The Tundra Dragon is a completely different experience. These dragons spawn around frozen tundras, snowy mountain regions, and icy cliffs. Their eggs are hidden beneath branches and snow-covered terrain to survive harsh weather conditions. Unlike plain dragons, Tundra Dragons are aggressive hunters from the moment that they hatch. Their lore actually describes them chasing deer, goats, and even bears once fully grown. In gameplay, they are faster travelers and capable of covering much longer distances, making them ideal for exploration across larger regions. They also provide different resources, including ice essence, life essence, wool scraps, and silver rewards when released back into the wild. And there's another interesting system in the mod. players can actually release tame dragons back into nature using an item called Dragon Gone. This item is crafted at the Nestkeeper bench using stone, copper ingots, and fire essence. Releasing dragons rewards different resources depending on the dragon type, creating a full cycle where dragons are not only companions but also part of the long-term progression and resource gathering. This creates a full cycle where dragons are not only companions but also part of the long-term progression and resource gathering. There's also a surprising amount of detail packed into the world itself. Things like dragon shed hide materials, unique egg fragments, special food crafting, and even lore descriptions attached to items to help explain how all the systems naturally work. The mod really leans into world building, and even the Saurians themselves have lore tied to them, acting as guardians that monitor female dragons and maintain nests across the world. Apparently they also come from their own separate dimension, although that area is not accessible yet and is planned for future updates. And honestly, the future roadmap is looking pretty interesting already. The developers are currently working on additional dragon types from different biomes, cosmetic armor, clothing made from dragon scales, polished textures, animations, unique dragon sounds, expanded trading, and eventually full dragon combat systems. On top of that, there are even plans for dragons to hunt different animals depending on their age and behavior. So while the mod already feels surprisingly complete, there's still a lot more planned. Now, one thing worth mentioning is that dragon nests can sometimes be difficult to find. The developers mentioned this mostly due to current spawning limitations in Hytale itself, where the spawn rate can occasionally feel inconsistent. A helpful tip is actually killing nearby monsters whilst exploring, since it kind of helps free up the spawns and improve the chances of the nests or related entities kind of appearing. But even if searching does not go well, the traders act as a backup way to still access dragon and dragon related content without relying entirely on the world generation luck. Overall, Dragon Nestkeeper feels less like a simple mount mod and more like an actual dragon survival system built directly into Hytale. There's progression, resource gathering, exploration, companion mechanics, trading, and even a surprising amount of atmosphere packed into the experience. And with future updates already planned, it feels like this mod has a lot of room to grow. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Hytale mods, updates, and showcases like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and drop a comment below letting us know what mod we should be covering next. Thanks for watching.